Welcome to Roadworthy Heavy Hauls. We'll be loading up and strapping in with some of the heaviest hauls to ever hit the pavement. Get ready to ride along, experiencing the challenges and close calls these professional heavy haulers face on a daily basis. From dispatch to delivery, this is Roadworthy Heavy Hauls.
Let's go right there. That's it.
For big rigs traversing the Colorado Rockies, the hero of the highway is often the tow truck operator.
We have a broke down tractor trailer on Highway 40, about 65 miles northwest of here. Need to go hook him up and tow him to the shop in Denver.
Every highway rescue is dangerous, but these mountains add steep grades to the mix, and winter brings treacherous weather conditions and cold temperatures that can make simple exposure to the elements a life or death proposition.
The death rate among towers is more than twice that of police officers in this country. It's an extremely dangerous job. You're working the roadside in every condition, whether it's snow, rain, sunshine, it doesn't matter. You're putting yourself in harm's way every job, every time you go out the door. And you do your best to keep yourself and your customers safe. I guess I've just accepted the danger that comes along with the job. This job gets in your blood and it's hard to get out of it. So there he is.
The biggest name in Colorado trucking is Western Towing. This transportation and wrecker behemoth got its start almost by accident.
We started back in like 1933. Great-grandfather was selling Coors and Jim Beam. We did that for a while. Coors decided we were making too much money off of them, so they pulled the Coors from us, and we picked up some other spirits like Bacardi and some wines and stuff like that. And that's kind of where the truck line got started. Was my dad. He was running the warehouse, and back in the 70s, he bought 6 of the nicest, baddest trucks he could find and went out, got the best drivers and put them in the trucks. Some years later, we had a friend that was in the towing business, and he'd lost his company, and I said, well, if you want to come over and work for us, we can buy a couple tow trucks and try the towing business, and we got into it. Yeah, with the acquisition of Dillon this last year, we're up to 50 tow trucks in the state right now.
The transition into Western has been good. Been good. Western's a good company. Dino is the kid in the candy shop. He loves trucks. He loves wreckers. He's fun to hang out with. You tell him what you need. He'll see to it, you get it.
Kelly's quite the character. He can do just about anything out there. I mean, we've seen him do jobs that just amaze us. He knows quite a bit about how to do some difficult stuff.
Kelly has reached the disabled big rig. The next step is to hook and secure it for the trip downhill to Denver. Mountain rescues present enormous challenges, from navigating icy roadways to high winds to any number of technical issues.
I'm gonna pick up the front of the truck with the boom and the winches. This thing's got a pretty low front end on it. We need to put a taller axle fork in there, just so when we hit bumps and swells and stuff, we don't make contact between the tow truck and the oil pan. Legally have to have 2 attachment points, a primary and a secondary. So your primary, of course, is where your underreach and your axle forks make contact with the axle. And the secondary is these safety chains. In the event your underreach breaks, catastrophic failure, you still got a hold of this 80,000 pound rig with something to keep everybody safe.
When you're in Texas and you want something big hauled, you want Lindemood Demolition and Heavy Hauling. Jake Lindemood has spent his career building a massive fleet of big rigs and a trusted team of drivers and technicians, and one very busy schedule.
It's grown to where we run about, 15 up to 20, 25 trucks and heavy haul most every day. And we don't do a lot of the little stuff. Our niche is trying to do the big stuff. A lot of people can go buy smaller low boys and haul that freight. We want to haul the stuff that not everybody can do and make a little more money than other people, hopefully.
Mike Brasino has been with Jake since the beginning and is now his man in the field.
We're on the Henderson 199 project here in downtown Fort Worth.
Mike was a good friend of mine in high school. Was really like my first full-time driver. Now he bids all our loads, he does a lot of the dispatching, he orders a lot of the permits, he oversees all the drivers. He has a very big role in the company. It really would not run without him.
Back in Colorado at 10,000 feet, Kelly works to get this disabled big rig ready to haul down to Denver. There's a lot for him to keep in mind.
Chain this axle down to the underreach real quick. The axle itself would slide. You go around a right-hand corner, for example. The truck would want to slide right in the forks. You could actually end up dropping it, or it'd be real lopsided. And if you had a big swell or a dip or something, I've actually heard of guys pushing the truck right out of the forks. So, gotta secure them.
Not every heavy hauler goes it alone. From their Midwest base, Ken and Barb Fisher trek all over the country, side by side.
When I'm in truck stops and I tell people, my wife runs with me, and they're like, oh, there ain't no way I could take my wife with me. And me, I can't go anywhere without her. I rely on her.
I'm the navigator. When we're going into places to pick up or deliver, I usually get the directions and help him get in there so he doesn't have to worry about when to turn and all that.
She's always been a big part of it.
It's definitely a different lifestyle, People that don't live it, you don't get it. But once you do it, most people, it gets in their blood and they can't get away from it.
And up north, Stephen Hardy and Ryan Southern of Hardy Seeds provide Canada with top-notch heavy hauling expertise.
Growing up on the farm, I loved equipment, played with the combines and tractors as kids and always saw the trucks coming in as kids too. So when we saw all that sort of stuff, I said, well, I definitely wanted to get into moving equipment in the open deck.
I met Steve, I came up here for a truck show, was meeting another mutual friend and came up here, and it's just been a friendship ever since, a good one too.
Just recently here within the last year, we started working together to build the Hardy Seeds flat deck business, an open deck business.
It's always been like my childhood dream to be a truck driver. My dad drove, and ever since I could move around on my knees, I've been pretending to be a truck driver, so now we're just giving it an honest attempt.
Always love a challenge. I can't just do freight up and down the road. I gotta have something that's making me think and making me work.
Back in the Rockies, Kelly has the big rig hooked up. Now he's got to make absolutely certain that he's triple-checked all his connection points to keep this huge rig safe and secure for the trek to the maintenance yard.
The minute I attach to this truck, it's mine. It's mine. I am responsible for everything that happens with this thing. Well, one thing with mountain towing, you're going up and down, level all the way up to 8% grades that we have up here. And a loaded rig, loaded trailer with the tractor and the tow truck. This setup right here, we're gonna be about 140,000 pounds. Climbing these mountains, driving on ice, slick roads. Ice and slick roads are one thing, but couple that with a upwards of an 8% grade, and you got to be on your game. All right, we're all hooked up, primary, secondary, attachment points. We have air run to the truck and the trailer, electrical run to the trailer. The wheels secured, have our signs on. We're ready to head down the highway, over the hill, and head for Denver.
Every last detail checked, Kelly puts his wrecker in gear and from an elevation of 10,000 feet starts downhill toward the mile-high city. His job is to take the incredible challenges that come along with this kind of heavy haul and head them off as best he can. But he never forgets that the potential for disaster is always lingering around every bend.
Going up and over these mountains through heavy traffic, you can't sacrifice safety for speed. It takes what it takes to do a good job, professional job. You know, do it right, do it safe, do it once. Pretty much how we roll up here.
Rolling at over 140,000 pounds is a proposition most truckers would turn down. But with the right equipment and an extraordinarily skilled and passionate operator, every challenge can be met and every obstacle overcome to lead to another successful heavy haul.